Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So this is the recipe that I'll be making today. So it's a beef kofta kebabs with spiced potatoes, and it will be all free on a plan, and it's from one of my favorite books, that is this one, A Family Feast on a Budget. And also with that there is a little footnote where it says, in the summer cook these skewers on the barbecue and serve them with a salad dressing with mint, cucumber and fat-free natural fromage frais. So I'm gonna serve it with the dip. I'm not gonna do it on a barbecue because we haven't got one. I'm just gonna do it under the grill. So let me show you the ingredients. So starting with the potatoes, so I have got a bag of here baby potatoes. So this one are shallots, so I've got 1 kilo of them, fry light. Then the recipe asks for whole chili, but I'm not using chili because I haven't used that for ages. Once I had an accident a couple of years ago and I stopped using fresh chili, so I might as well tell you. Basically I was cutting out fresh chilies and I had contact lenses in, and then I forgot in the evening that I was cutting the chilies, so I asked I went to remove the lenses out of my eye, and that was stinging a lot. And then I had to ask my husband to get the contact lens out of my eye, so that was a bit of a struggle. So since that I haven't used a fresh chili. I'm safe with spiced chili. So yeah, I'm using a little bit of spiced chili in a jar. Then I've got freshly ground pepper, salt. I've got 4 red onions because the recipe asks for 3, but because I'm making it slightly bigger, so I'm adjusting it to my taste. So I'm making it 4 onions, 4 cloves of garlic. And that's what I said. The recipe asks for 500 gram of beef mince meat. So the 5% fat, which is free on a plan, but I'm using the 750 because I've got a big husband and I know he will eat if I make it. So I'm making it slightly bigger. So a curry powder, green beans, chopped tomatoes, and that's all for the recipe. And that's ingredients for the dip here. I've got cucumber. I'm not using the fromage frais. I'm going to use fat-free natural yogurt, which is free on a plan, and a couple of leaves of the mint leaves from my garden. So let me get the vegetable ready and then I'll show you the next step. So what I've got here, I roughly chopped the onions. So I've got 2 onions and 2 cloves of garlic, and because it says it needs to be finely chopped, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it into my food processor because I can't finely chop anything, so it's easier if I do it here. So let me just do that and I'll come back to you in a second. So I put it all in a food processor, assembled it all together, and I'm just going to give it a little whisk. So now you can see the onion is chopped to small fine pieces, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna transfer it into a bowl that I prepared here. Now I've got the ingredients that I need ready in a bowl. So I've got the chopped up onion, garlic, and I put some in here. I've got a teaspoon of the spicy paprika and then the minced beef. And I'm just gonna get my hand and I'm just gonna mix it all through. So all blended in together, and I'll come back to you once I've done that. So I blended in all together and I got my metal skewers ready here. So in the recipe it says it makes 8, but I only have got 8 skewers, so I'm gonna make mine slightly bigger. So I'm just gonna get some of the meat and then wrap it around the skewers and then put them along on this tray and then put it in a fridge until later needed. And this is what it looks like now once I've wrapped it around the skews. So I've got 7 kebab skews and I'm just going to put them in a fridge and I'm just gonna get on with the potatoes and with the rest of the recipe. Now I emptied the bag of potato into a big pan, and I'm just gonna add some boiling hot water over it. And add a bit of salt. Put probably a bit more water just to cover it all up. Put the lid on and then bring it to the boil, and it says boil it for 7 to 8 minutes, so that's what I'm going to do. In the meantime, I light a baking tray with some tin foil, so next time when I'm going to make the recipe I will actually know what I already need, because it's like say in the meantime, but because this time I'm doing it for the first time, I need to refer to the recipe quite a lot. So I've got the bag of potato on the hob here boiling away, then I've got the baking tray ready, and then what it says, in the meantime I'm just going to prepare the onion and the rest of the vegetables. So let me get that ready. So I just prepared the vegetables. So I crushed the 2 cloves of garlic, sliced up the 2 red onions. I'm gonna keep some to a side for later on, so just to serve some with, so it looks nice on a plate. So that's a little bit to save on the side, so the rest I'm gonna use now. And then I washed and cut the end bit of the green beans. And the potatoes now are just starting to coming up to a boil. So now I've got a big saucepan from a cupboard. I put it on a hob, and I'm just going to spray a bit of fry light at the bottom of the pan and heat it up, and then wait until it sizzles a bit, and then I'm just going to fry up the onion. So the pan is nice and hot now, and I'm just going to add the onion. And then fried it up for about 4 minutes. And in the meantime, I got the kebab skewers from a fridge, and I'm just going to put them onto the tray that I prepared earlier with the tin foil, and I'll come back to you in a second. I've got all the kebabs lined up ready on the baking tray, so ready to go under the grill. So next time when I'll make that, because this is the first time I'm making, I'll omit the putting it onto the tray before I put it in the fridge. So what I'll do, I have the baking tray ready with the tin foil to save up on washing, because who does like washing? So I don't. So next time I'm just gonna, when I'm gonna make the kebab skewers, I'm just gonna put them straight onto the tray ready with the aluminium foil to save up on washing, because that was a unnecessary step. And I've got a grill ready here on the medium. I'm just gonna in there. I'm just going to put the kebabs in there. And then it says 5 minutes on each side. So that's what I'm going to do. Fry them up for 5 minutes. And the onion is getting browner. Potatoes are boiling away. And I'm just going to chop up now I'm just going to do the minty sauce on the side. So I sliced up the cucumber finely, then chopped the mint leaves, and I've got a fat-free yogurt here, and I'm just going to put it all into a bowl and mix it all up. As in the recipe, it doesn't state how much I should be putting together of each, so I just did it by eye. So I did a little bit of cucumber, a little bit of mint leaves, and a little bit of yogurt. So now just mix it all through. and I'm just going to put it in the fridge now, ready for later on. As in the recipe, it doesn't state how much I should be putting together of each, so I just did it by eye. So I did a little bit of cucumber, a little bit of mint leaves and a little bit of yogurt. So now just mix it all through, and I'm just going to put it in the fridge now, ready for later on. So the potato's been cooking for about 5 minutes, I would say. So I'm just going to add some green beans to it, and I'm just going to cook it for another 4 minutes. I'm just going to use this. So I'm just going to bring it back to the boil and cook it for about 4 minutes until the green beans are fully cooked. Put the lid back on. So in the meantime, the kebabs are looking nicely cooked on one side. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take them down and turn them over. And this is what they look like once I turn them over, and then I'm just going to put them back under the grill. So I just poke the potatoes with my knife just to find out if they are soft and cooked, but they are a little bit soft, and I just reread the recipe and I should cut them lengthways before cooking them, so that should speed up the time. So now I need to cook it for a little bit longer. So that's what I mean by doing the recipes first time round. So next time I'll cut them in half. So I'm just going to cook them for a little bit longer. I just tried the potatoes and they're nicely cooked. So I drained them and with the green beans. So in the meantime, actually, I stopped cooking the onion because otherwise it would burn. So that's not cooking anymore. So what I'm going to do, put the heat back on the onion and let that heat up through. And then I'm going to put the 1 tablespoon of the curry powder and then mix it in, because you want the spices of the curry powder gets nice and warm, so then they release the flavour. And then I'm going to add the chopped garlic as well. So the garlic is in as well, so I'm going to mix that through. I can smell the spices now. And then I'm just going to quickly read what it says. So in the book it said I should add the potatoes, the green beans and the chopped tomatoes all into the pan and just mix it through and then heat it up for 5 minutes. So I'm just going to do that. So while the potatoes are cooking, I'm just going to check onto the kebab. So yeah, that looks nicely cooked. So it's probably time to remove it. Just have a look. Because it's got the skew, so it's cooking from outside as well from the inside. So that looks cooked to me. Just remember I'm supposed to season it as well, so I just added some freshly ground black pepper to the potatoes and sprinkle a little bit of salt, and I'm just going to give it a stir, put the lid on and cook it for another 2 minutes. And this is what it looks like once I've plated it up. So I've got 1.5 of the kebab skew here, because I've used the bigger meat, so 1.5 is a good portion for me. Then I've got the potato here with the green beans and the tomatoes. Then I sprinkled some fresh onion on the top, and then I'm having it with the salad dip or the salad dressing, what it's called in the book, on the side here. And it looks delicious, and it's all free on a plan. So yeah, if you like this type of a video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe below, and see me in my next video. And thank you very much for watching. And again, once I've pieced it all together, I type in the recipe in the description box below, so you can read it along next time when you make it. And as I said, it's really easy, and this is the first time I made it, so let's hope it tastes good. Well, it does look good. And also it didn't take that long, because I was worried, because it's in a book it says you make it for 40 minutes, it takes 40 minutes to make, and it did actually took me about 45 minutes to make, so with all the filming and with all the things, putting things down. So yeah, it's a really good recipe to make. And again, thank you very much for watching. Bye everyone.